Oh my. How about hearing a list on the top 10 most popular coffees served in coffee shops? Have you ever wondered about that? Before we get started on this list from BeYourOwnBarista.com, I want to take a sip of coffee. And of course, this is Warming Our Bones, Part 3, you see, with coffee. Yes, I abbreviated said in saying that, but this is still going along in the series. And let me go ahead and pull up the other two podcasts I've already did on this so that you can know where they're found, where they're located. Give me one moment. You can find like part 1 of this series, Coffee Warming the Bones, part 1, on SoundCloud, Spotify. I'm not sure if it has replicated out to iHeart, but I'm working on getting this series placed on at iHeartRadio. You also have Stitcher. Have you heard of them? Google Podcasts. They are the main ones, of course, and I've already mentioned, I believe, Spotify many times, that you can hear this podcast on in this series, which I encourage you to go ahead and share. Coffee Warming the Bones Part 1 and Coffee Warming the Bones Part 2. Now we continue on with Coffee Warming the Bones Part 3. All right. And remember, this information is taken from BeYourOwnBarista.com. And here in the top 10 most popular coffee drinks in the U.S., it makes you think about times that you've been in the coffee shop. Last year, all of that, because probably many of us, over the years, I know I've been one of them, but maybe you too, your routine, whether it was every day or one day a week or what have you, was to go to a coffee shop and to enjoy, a cup, the experience, reading, and maybe even some conversation, you see. And it's always been nice that over the years, it took off. And I would say people who drink coffee really value and appreciate that venue that they have. I could go into other conversations where persons may agree that they were able to solve difficult problems, problems of the world. I used to say that, yes, you have a good cup of coffee and a conversation and a comfortable spot, and you can solve the problems of the world, you see. Well, with that, we want to have good tasting coffee. So what are the different flavors and what people order the most in these coffee shops? Starting with number 1, all right? It says espresso. See, espresso, all those little small cups of coffee that has like a shot, in there that, boy, would make you run around the block several times, you see, when you need that extra boost in the day. But on this website, they go on to explain more about it. They say that espresso is by far the most popular coffee drink around the world, not just in the U.S. And see, many people enjoy a single or double shot of espresso on its own. There's another paragraph explaining how it is brewed. It tells you other information about the grounds, but we won't read it. So you can go to BeYourOwnBarista.com and actually read the whole article, 10 most popular coffee drinks served in the U.S. All right. So let's move on to number 2. My favorite. Let me take a sip of coffee. Warm the bones. Cappuccino. Oh yes, I've had many of them in my life. Have you? Well, guess what? It says that the cappuccino is an espresso-based coffee drink that's loved and adored by coffee drinkers everywhere. It mentions actually the serving size, the ratio of what goes in from the espresso to the steamed milk, to foam milk. So you can actually see how to make it from their instructions. concise instructions, but you at least know what's in it so you can even make it yourself, you see. Then number 3, we have latte. Wonderful, wonderful there. Certainly is. More information is on that. Now notice this one. The Americano. It says an Americano is a popular coffee shop drink made from water and espresso. It's a great choice for those who find straight espresso to be too strong. So I guess instead of running for the next 2 miles off a straight espresso, you actually only run 1 mile and 3/4, full speed. Okay. All right. I'll just leave that one alone. Let's move on. Number 5, cold brew. All right. Have you ever had cold brew before? But it does mention that it has become very popular in recent years. I've had cold brew coffee before, but just to show you how rarely I've drank it over the years, I don't even know if I could say I've drank it on 2 hands. Or maybe 1 hand or what have you. It was more of, sometimes you can go into one of these places, especially if you're traveling or what have you, and this restaurant or lodge, they might be advertising, and the picture just makes your mouth water and you just want to try it. So that's how I've basically, tried it over the years. It was more of like a promotion or something going on that caught my eye and my ears by the person trying to say, you got to try it. So I tried it. But it's not one of those things, as you can tell from me expressing myself, that I actually go into the coffee shops and just say, give me a cold brew. I might say, give me a cold beer. No, but not a cold brew. All right. But yes, there's a coffee called cold brew. All right. And there's some interesting information that they have written up on it. Then you have the Frappuccino or Frappe. Oh my goodness, I'm not even going to talk about that. That's basically ice cream coffee. Now I've had many of those more than just on 1 or 2 hands that I can count. And I admit, I know some persons who they won't touch the stuff, you see. Oh, they're coffee drinkers, but they won't touch Frappuccino. And if you hang out with them long enough, they'll start making you question whether you're manly and man or not in drinking coffee, you see. So a lot of you men, if you like Frappuccinos, hey, just keep it to yourself. Or if we happen to talk or go to a coffee shop or something, then we can keep that between ourselves, because we know there's some manly men coffee drinkers out there. Some might say women do, all right, that they don't touch it. They just, I guess you saw or notice how I said it was ice cream and coffee. They might say, no, it's just Kool-Aid and not even coffee, Anyway, I'm not going into that any further. Just know that came in on number 6. Then we have 7, Cafe Mocha. 8, Cafe au Latte. Oh, but there's something French there. I'll have to, find out more about that. But anyway, you go and see what number 8 is, and you'll pronounce it correctly. I probably never had that before either. And then, yes, macchiato. Yes, I have. And number 10, affogato. And here is another sample of espresso and vanilla ice cream. It's a rich, sweet, and creamy Italian coffee and dessert in 1 cup. So, there you go. I hope you enjoyed this, and we conclude the series in part 4 of, warming our bones, or coffee warming our bones. This was part 3. You have a wonderful day. You have just listened to the Perceptive Readers Podcast. Remember, until next time, if you read something that encourages you to improve or enhance your life for the better, it becomes your reality.